I think if anything, might as well have this as just a quick reaction type deal, just because apparently this is not the fun one, but like whatever. We'll see what we can get from this. It shouldn't be too bad, I don't think, because it's a TWID. But apparently people just don't like this. Let's see here. So obviously, This Week in Destiny, sharing more details about new content to the Desert Perpetual, which is great. On July 19th, so Desert Perpetual has expansions. We kind of expected that. Yeah. Go ready for the epic version of the Desert Perpetual, which will permute and expand on the original Starnet. Epic raid. Wait, what? Hold on. Building on the original experience, the epic version introduces new challenges, rewards, and pursuits. Change to the mechanics of each encounter will test the coordination of your fire team. Complete them to earn loot. What? Unlocks an attunement system for the raid vendor and it will reward the catalyst for the. Okay. Contest mode will be on. Okay, that's kind of weird, but whatever. We've only updated loot for contest mode. For now, your first clear of each encounter in the contest will drop tier 5 gear, and if you complete all of them, you can complete an exclusive emblem, the raid exotic, and catalyst. So you better start organizing your fire team if you want to compete in our world's first race. Okay, world's first race update. Unlocked for players. Not swap update. Wait, hold the fuck on. Wait. Why are they adding not swap in this? This is kind of dumb. Yeah, with the release of the epic raid to keep success encounters, focus on action gameplay, and create a level playing field for players across platforms, we're rolling out a new version of not swap for contest mode. This modifier will now reset your super and ability energy, special ammo, and heavy ammo, as well as remove all ammo and orbs on the ground when you change exotic or legendary armor or weapon. Why though? Like, I'm sorry, but like that doesn't it doesn't make sense to me. This modifier will also take effect when 3 or more feats are activated in the standard difficulty of the epic raid? The experience has been tuned around this modifier. Are you kidding me? Bro, you might as well just say, hey, if you have the Thunderlord, have fun. You'll be doing so much damage because that's all you're going to be using. Like, what the hell? Why? Like, I get they're trying to make it more quote-unquote even, but, like, it doesn't make sense. Like, why would you put that? Like, that's dumb. Like, I honestly think that's pretty stupid. Like, if you wanna do that, like, fine, but, like, come on. Like, that's just... I don't know. I don't like that. I'm not a fan of not swap just because, again, I think the idea of not swap should not be something that is just like penalizing like loadout swapping. If you want to fucking like penalize loadout swapping, just make it so people aren't incentivized to do it. Like, again, like there's natural ways of doing that stuff. Like potentially having really decent setups or something of that sort would be the main focus instead of having to do hot swaps. Like, sure, I guess this is a way to avoid it, but like, come on. You are literally just asking everyone to just toss on Thunderlord and then just kind of like run around doing nothing else. Well, come on, man. I'm not a fan of that. What we got? Featured gear and seasonal mods. The bonus to damage and damage resistance granted by the artifact when currently featured gear is active during the... Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, so we're going to keep it fair, but because we are going to have stuff that has perks in it that like increases the damage, like, gives you additional abilities and benefits and all that, we'll grant you the advantage. So here's the fun part. I love the fact that they're saying this to... I guess it's just the fact of like they're trying to make this as a closely like setup, but also again, if you're just running tier 5s, this is a joke to you now. Like I don't like that. I don't like this. Yeah, seasonal mods can be slotted into featured weapons. Okay, again, like you're just asking for people to just run the temporal weapons mod. Come on, man. We know this will impact your build crafting plan, so we wanted to share this info a bit early. We can't share banned items yet, though. This will be available on a day closer to the Ray release, but it might look different to last time given the changes to build swapping that we're implementing. Okay, so I will say this. I would not be surprised if they ban Thunderlord. I think Thunderlord is definitely going to get banned. I think they're going to ban, because again, if they want to just have it be like set up properly, they shouldn't. I personally will say they should not ban Outbreak. If they ban Outbreak, then they're literally asking for like the biggest like middle finger to everyone. I'm just saying, because that the fact that you are literally, because again, it's either you stick with, you get rid of Lord of Wolves, you get rid of Thunderlord, and you keep Outbreak perfected, or you just leave those all on the playing field. Because honestly, if it was just me, I would leave them all on the playing field, because hey, guess what? You have your opportunity to tune them during the Ashes and Iron update. Like, do your tuning then. You have the time. Don't have bans. Only have bans on stuff that isn't working properly. Like the aspect that they had beforehand, like with Liar's Handshake. Yeah. Ban that, because that makes sense for it. Because again, that wasn't intended on working grenades, but here we are. Okay. Integrity of the challenge. The launch weekend of the raid is a unique moment for Destiny 2 players. Teams over that, blah, blah, blah. We won't hesitate to remove players during the raid rate and issue bans as needed to defend the integrity of Worlds First. In other words, don't cheat and don't play with cheaters or you will face the consequences. I mean, I'm glad that, it took, almost like a significant amount of time, and the literal force of somebody who was so fucking confused on how many people got through within the first 24 hours and like how peculiar is the way that this happened. Could it have been shown up in a different way? Maybe. Who knows? It's possible. If anything, I'm kind of hoping that was they were notified and they kind of went into it. But again, I didn't see really much of an update from Bungie until I saw the post where it's like, hey, like a fuck ton of people were cheating, because like it's just coincidentally the same people going through with like no clears, but they somehow are just getting like a fuck ton of kills and getting clears. So I'm glad that they're kind of still wanting to stay within the integrity of the challenge, but again, I don't know how I feel about this. Because again, you're asking when it comes to a not swap, you're asking them to just stick with one loadout, which is just not something that I think you would want, especially if you're essentially set up every single boss to be a damage check. Because again, that was kind of the main focus of that, and that's kind of the whole aspect of that. It's weird, because I don't like it. Where it's like, oh, hey, yeah, we made a system in place because guess what? We decided to set it where all the damage, all the bosses are essentially a damage check. And if you don't hit it, like, sucks to be you. Again, that being said, like being 10 under isn't a huge issue, like in fairness. But again, we have to see what they ban. Because if they ban certain weapons, then, you are out of luck. That's what I'm wanting to see. Okay, upcoming raid reward changes. Since we're talking about raid, let's share some new information. You can earn extra rewards by clearing all the encounters, defeat all 3 bosses before being Korigos. Okay, I'm glad that they incentivize the fact that you would be able to get extra for doing all the challenges, like all the encounters, which is nice. In addition to this, we're introducing 2 weekly challenges. First challenge gives an extra piece of loot from your first clear. Completing this challenge will also unlock an additional one that provides bonus loot from just the epic raid. The loot from these challenges drops have bonus seasonal power and drops at an upgraded tier based on the number of active feats. We're making some improvement to the gear tier in Desert Perpetual. Oh, great. Here's the fun thing. Okay, no, I don't like that. I don't like this. And the reason why I don't like this is that, again, this doesn't... We're removing the requirement to complete the combined mastery to increase your gear drop tier. Now, all gear will drop at tier 2 in the standard version and tier 3 in the epic raid, no matter your current power level. I'm fine with that, but also, like, it's I'm not like, I don't think, because here's the one thing when it comes to it, everything else has this system in place where it, you know, the number, the how high you went is always based on what the power level is. It's nice. I'm happy that they have it set up where it's like, oh, tier 3 is like, you get it guaranteed in the epic raid, which is fine. I think that's great. The only problem that I have when it comes to it is the fact that you still have to do the feats. So unless they're having it, yeah, add, like, again, you have to add feats to increase your chances. I'm not like, I get it. Like, it makes sense to add more so you can kind of have the challenge and be able to increase it. But again, I'm not like 100% on board with it, because again, it's not like, once you hit tier 5, you're not going to give a shit. You're just going to do the feats once and that's it. Nothing else. At last, an often requested feature for raids is arriving with Ashes 9. Players who complete the map and compass quest as well as the epic raid can then approach the simulus and it's able to receive a new quest. Completing this quest will unlock the ability to tune any previously acquired piece of gear from Desert Perpetual, improving its chances of drop from any counter. This part I like a lot. I think this is great because I think this is definitely worth the benefit for it. I think attunement should be something that should be available for all raids, not just Desert Perpetual. I think it should be something that should be available for everything. Because again, it is something that's worth going for. You can attune in other weapons, in other activities. Why can't we just attune in raids? Because we don't have crafting anymore. We lost that after, you know, Salvation's Edge, because apparently people just didn't want to, you know, people were thinking crafting just like ruined the game. Even though in reality, it just made it a little bit easier for people to kind of focus on adept versions if they actually care for it, which again, you know, it has its own issues. But I do like this part. I don't mind. I think this is a good addition. I think this part it could be better personally, because again, if you already are tier 5, which a lot of people are already there, it doesn't make sense to have it where it's just like, oh yeah, you get tier 3 base. Unless you reset the tier systems for all the armor. And at that point, you are asking for a lot of shit to be thrown at you. Which I don't believe is what's going to happen. I think they're going to reset the power. They're not going to reset the tier level. If they do that, again, they're asking for too much. Bungie extension. The jacket doesn't look too bad. I may consider it. We'll see. Oh boy, the portal updates. Okay, this is where a lot of people had a lot of issues. Hey Guardians, the portal dev team here. We see that you're all loving Checks Notes, Calderon, K1 Logistics. A lot, maybe too much. What do they mean by the mines? The salt mines? Oh, either way, in Ash and Iron, we're adding more variety to the portal, keeping all activities worthwhile, but also making them more time equivalent in risk and challenge equivalent while you progress in your power. Okay. So here's my thing. Again, obviously, if you're seeing this now, I haven't actually gone through the review. One of my main complaints that I'm going to highlight in the actual review video of Edge of Fate entirely was the power level grind. I don't like it. I think it's stupid. And I think the way that they did it was good in the beginning, but also like it rubs me the wrong way. Now, again, I'll go into more details later on because I feel like this is going to have a bigger impact on what I'm going to be saying. So I will be putting out a video as soon, like, relatively soonish. I'm not going to say like within, like, by the end of the week, but you get what I mean on that. Incoming improvements. The portal is a better place when there's more options to play that are optimal or close enough that you don't feel constrained to a handful of missions to play. We need Fireteam Ops to be a better place to play, either with your friends, with new friends by a Fireteam Finder, through matchmaking, or even as a solo guardian wishing to solo a strike. Categories are going to get increased rewards, and some ops are going to get slightly reduced rewards. And that's my issue. I don't think you should do that. Here is the way that I see it, and this is the way that you should always do it. If you want people to play other modes, increase the rewards for the other modes, or create a system where you get bonus content for the other ones. Like, don't get me wrong, like, running Caldera, running K1 Logistics is really, really fucking boring. But as of right now, it is like the best way of grinding up your power. It is like 3 to 5 minutes at most. If you are optimized enough, you have the right setup, and you could get like decent amount of gear as long as you hit your marks. And when you hit your marks, you're fine. You're golden. You are set. You're gonna get armor pieces. So the fact that we're going to be getting slightly reduced rewards does not bode well. The solo ops dominance is especially start between 400 and 450. Hey, maybe you should change that? That'd be a fucking great idea, but like, hey, I guess we'll have to see what else is there. Where the best way to attain prime engrams is to get grade A's as fast as possible. Yes. That is something that I don't like, is the fact, again, you have, like, obviously you can do other stuff, but if you want to be efficient, you have to do solo ops. There's nothing around it. It's just something you have to do. We want to make this more interesting portion of the game, one that attaining prime engrams in the portal more rewarding. Starting next week with update 9.008, we're increasing the time limits in Fireteam Ops direct launch matchmaking tiers, giving players significantly more time to complete challenging matchmaking grandmasters. This should help players reach A grades more consistently, resulting in better rewards. Okay, I mean, like, that's great. I'm glad that they're increasing the time for the grandmasters. Again, if people are actually going to go through that, that is up to them. But, it's, again, that's just kind of what it is. Additionally, we have some improvements planned for Portal in Ash and Iron Forward. A time bonus system should give more value, trading off speed versus killing everything, kill-based activities in Fireteam Ops, and have a meaningful role in scores in Solo and Pinnacle Ops. Good grades in Fireteam Ops should be less risky and less challenging to get than they are now, and closer to Solo and Pinnacle Ops activities. Fireteam. So far, I'm liking where this is going, where they're trying to promote the Fireteam Ops, and so they're making it a little bit easier to get A. Granted, who the fuck knows? Like, I'm glad that they're trying to make the benefit for it, but I'm just seeing where people will lose their heads on this. Because obviously this is not it. So far, I'm liking this part. I think this part is nice. Because again, the fact that they're giving benefits to Fireteam Ops and not just, like, everything else, I think that's cool. I think that's a good way of doing it. Fireteam Ops should be at least a good place to earn power as Solo or Pinnacle Ops. Matchmaking Fireteam Ops should be more valuable at high power levels. The way that equip power and account power works is confusing. We are fixing that. We would like more variety in Pinnacle Ops, including a way to earn Pinnacle Ops gear via matchmaking. We would like to give more regular opportunities to matchmaking to marquee activities like Onslaught and the Coil. No one likes Onslaught, so obviously people are not going to go into there unless they have to get a single piece of armor, and that's the only way you'll get them in there. The Coil is fun, but again, it's one of those things where it's like, unless you know exactly what you're doing, it's like it takes a little bit of time. We want to make it easier and more obvious for everyone in the fire team to get the best rewards, even at wide power differentials. So this is something that actually also kind of annoys me, because here's the problem when it comes to it. If you are at such a wide differential, you are screwed. If you are significantly lower, even if you are like maybe 10, 15 power level lower, even though you are going to still like even though it's at still a higher power level and all that, and you're being brought up, you're still going to get less rewards, which is weird. And I'm not sure if it's a bug. I hope it's a bug, because again, that kind of pisses me off that if it's not and that's intended, because that has screwed me over so fucking much. Because again, as of right now, I don't play Destiny 2 that much anymore. If you go to the main channel, you're seeing me play a Biotic Factor, Elden Ring Night Rain. There's going to be more stuff going up later on. And so you have this whole situation where I'm not putting in the time to play it. Why am I getting penalized for it for playing with someone who has put in more time? Because at that point, I'm just essentially saying to myself, like, hey, it's time for me to just go and stick something up there and have fun. You're not going to get anything. You're going to waste your time. Again, hoping it's a bug. That's all I could say. But, that's just what it is right now. So, we think various main challenges will balance against each other. We also think there should be more things to do as general to bring activities, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Would be great if conquests were repeatable for portal rewards. Yes, that's something that I would so want them to do. Because, don't get me wrong, the fact that you can't do conquest multiple times to get, stuff is kind of bullshit. Especially since conquest should be something that people can farm. I think it's a good thing. All right, what do we got here? In Ashen's Iron release, we have more substantial changes and additions. These are no means final, so expect more in the future. Let's go over them. Ultimate difficulty. Ultimate difficulty will be available when Ashen Irons launches. Ultimate difficulty is available after starting at 451. So you're not going to touch Ultimate until you actually do the fucking grind. So, but again, it looks like they're fixing that, so hopefully that changes. Ultimate includes 2 player stakes, pressure cooker, extinction. Okay, these are kind of cool. I don't mind these. I think these are nice. Optional stakes intend to provide the most significant challenge, which is cool. Ultimate Fireteam Ops matchmaking will open in week 10, the week after Ashen Iron launches. Okay, that's cool. Platinum and Diamond reward ranks. Players can reach Platinum and Diamond reward ranks, which runs from 450 to 499 and 500 to 550. Platinum and Diamond, you can earn a grade A plus in PvE. Unique. This way, hey, you need A plus to qualify for Tier 5 gear until Platinum 3, where grade A grades start giving Tier 5. Once you reach Diamond 1, B plus gives you Tier 5, and Platinum 3, or even a B will give you Tier 5. That, I think, is fine. I think it does make it a little bit easier for people to get their builds, which I think is good. Especially since you're up there already grinding it out. And if it essentially is guaranteeing you a Tier 5, I think that's fine. I think it's perfect. I'm okay with that. I think the only thing that I would have an issue with is if you still only get one piece of Tier 5 loot. If you get multiple, then that makes it even better. Because again, you're already at that point where it's like you should just be getting multiple pieces. It doesn't hurt. Reward multiplier changes. Changing this to use account highest power rather than equip power. Determined based as the multiplier. I'm surprised that we didn't do that beforehand. It's kind of strange, but whatever. You'll still need to have newer featured armor on to get up to a 10% scoring bonus. No swapping at the end of the activity. Fair enough. That makes sense. 5 new portal score boosters and reward pass, but you don't lose your score boost if you got them in the reclamation pass. Cool. You can still earn 3% for each of the new boosts to 15% total. If you're already at 15%, you're okay. Time limit adjustments. All activities had their time limits. Yes. Anything's come down to a reasonable leveling. Yeah, 35-minute star-cross timer. Makes no sense. 8-minute Caldera timer. Really? They had an 8-minute one? I honestly didn't realize. I thought it was 10. Other things are increasing liminality, inverted spire, onslaught. Yeah. to give you more time to get those bonus points. Bonus timers will award a minimum of 5% score bonus. Cool. In the future, we're looking at ways to visualize that. Cool. Loadout restrictions. Oh, fun. We launched such a fate. We were worried about the effects of loadout swapping in the portal with Armor 3.0, so we significantly increased the scoring value for locked loadout, making it very advantageous to play with. This made it a bit too easy for to earn good scores in expert difficulty compared to any banes and challenges and raising the combat. We're bringing locked loadout back down to where we originally imagined it and opening up some design space for new loadout modifiers. Okay. We're a new loadout player state called Touche, which combines locked loadout and avant-garde restrictions as well as the scoring for both. See, here is my thing. I don't like the whole avant-garde one, and the main reason why I say I don't like it is just because avant-garde really just prevents you from being able to really take advantage of anything until you get a decent gear setup. And again, because also it doesn't take into account any like your class exotic, because that's not identified as new gear. You're playing with a shittier deck. Even if you grinded duality to get a new piece of your exotic class item, it doesn't count. And I think that's personally I think that's a bit stupid. It should count. Because again, you are kind of screwing yourself over that. Now, is that a major issue? People are not having that much of an issue. I don't like it because, again, I prefer to have a build that I feel comfortable with, and I don't want to sabotage my own build just to get more points. You know, it doesn't feel right when it comes to that. So I'm just like, Also seeing selection of new loadout restrictions. Explosive weapons, medieval weapons, Old West weapons. Okay. All these includes restrictions for new and featured armor, similar to avant-garde, but these weapons can come from anywhere and anytime, even from 1963. Ha 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 ha, Kavasov. It's not Kavasov, I know that. I was just making a joke. Additionally, these include appropriate weapon categories, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so that's kind of cool. Like, I'm glad that they are kind of adding some more ways to make it interesting, which is fine. If you're thinking these restrictions are going to make it challenging to counter champions in Master Mission and above, we agree. That's why we come with a really juicy scoring system to compensate you for your troubles. Also, you won't see any of these as randomized modifiers and matchmaking activities. They're just for customized. Okay, so at least they're not just tossing it in and just being like, good luck. They're actually having something like it's something you have to actually put on, which is good. I don't mind that. Oh boy, yeah, this is where I think a lot of people had the issue with. Our goal for individual activity awards was to create consistent value across all activities. While each activity is unique in its own way and can be preferred by different players, we created groupings based on length and difficulty to reward players' efforts. We've been analyzing the activity data and seeing players become familiar with the activities, buffs, and creating new strategies. It's clear that some activities are harder than we expect. Example of Widow's Court, and others are easier. Example, Encore. Okay, so is there really no way I can like expand this even further? Okay. So let me see here. So percent of completed. So what majority of the people who are completing it. So this is obviously this is solo ops, makes sense. And then wait, Pinnacle Ops is down here? Really? What? That's strange. I honestly thought Pinnacle Ops would be a little bit higher. I guess it's just because of the timing. That's weird. I don't know. I was not expecting that. I thought it would be slightly up here, but I guess it's because of Fireteam and Crucible Ops are like super, super fast. So it's like, you know what? Fair enough. But obviously, this is like around like the 3 or 4 minute mark right here. This is around the 8-minute mark. And I'm guessing this is 6, 7. This is 4 to 5, like 5 to 6. Again, like the spread is whatever, but like obviously the completion up here is just kind of nice. We can see that some activities solo ops. Ooh, this is actually a little bit. Oh, okay. So you make this one bigger, but the other one not. Come on, you gotta be shitting me. That's so dumb. We could see some activities have a narrow distribution where there's significantly less variation in duration. Activities with lower, wider shapes, Fireteam Ops and Pinnacle Ops. Yeah, so these two, obviously, Fireteam and Pinnacle, and then obviously these are Crucible and Solo. Not surprising at all. Sir, activities are easily anticipated. You should run looking at Pinnacle Ops. Yeah, not surprised. The fact that Kel's Fall is... Because here's the thing, Kel's Fall isn't bad. Like, don't get me wrong, I've done it multiple times. The only thing is that Encore is significantly easier. You can get I think you can get like sub 8 minutes fairly easily if you are like really on point. The lowest I've gotten was like 11 minutes, but that's just because, again, I was on lower tier weapons. I was on, I think, tier 1 or tier 2. So, again, you're able to pull that off like fairly easily. Starcross, 100% much faster. You can get that down to like 8, maybe even 7 minutes if you have a decent enough team and coordinated. Whisper, I'm actually kind of surprised that that's the fastest one. I haven't done it, but the fact that it's apparently the fastest one is actually kind of impressive. I guess it's just because I haven't done it when it actually had decent rewards. Possibly the main thing. That could be the reason why. I have no idea. But again, that's what it is. It's clear that there are two general groups, short ops like Whisper and Starcross, the longer ones on Encore and Kel's Hall, which lead us to the following changes. Yep. Okay. This is where people got annoyed. Encore, endgame active engrams reduced to 2, mid-game reduced to 2, Starcross. Okay, I'm sorry, but here's the thing when it comes to this. This is something that I hate a lot, because when it comes down to everything, they're removing viable options to farm. Because again, when you look at it, you want to find the most optimized method to do farming. When it comes to weapons, armor, power level, whatever. You want to look for the fastest and most efficient way. The best way to make it so other people would want to play other things is to make the efficiency or the time that they put into it worth the rewards. So for example, why are we reducing Encore, Starcross, and Whisper when you could just up Kel's? Just increase Kel's Fall. More people will play it. It's not the fact of like, oh, it's so long. You can still get like fairly quick runs. You can get like 10-minute runs, 11-minute runs, like not that difficult. But the reason why people don't do those is because activity-wise, you're getting the same rewards as pretty much everything else, unless there's a bonus. And if you don't hit that bonus, then it's like, well, you just, you're wasting it. So at that point, yeah, obviously people are going to go with Starcross, the Whisper, Encore. Even if you don't hit that bonus, you're still doing it in a much faster time than Kel's Fall. So why are we reducing these for the efficiency when we could just increase Kel's Fall? Fireteam's Ops has a lot more activity, so we expect a lot more variance. No, like this is not surprising at all. We continually see 4 activity groups, both inverted spire and liminality, being harder than anticipated as compared to the shorter ones, and Widow's Court consistently being the longest activity. Yes, because Widow's Court is fucking Onslaught. No one likes to play Onslaught. It's boring, and you don't get that much. See, like, I would say this is a better look, but like, you're just like, this is what you should do. You shouldn't have this. You shouldn't. This is not something that you should have. And the main reason why is because if you're going to penalize doing activities fast, why the hell would people want to do the longer ones for like an increased amount? Because like, here's the thing. If it was up to me, and say it's like, oh, it's 12 minutes to do one activity for 2, and then it takes me 5 minutes to do an activity that does 1. I'm still going to do the the activity that does one because I can still do it faster than the other ones. So why not increase the rewards for the slower ones or the ones that take the longer? Because I'm like, oh, I mean, I could put more time into this and then eventually just get burned out from it. Or I can go into the longer one, but it's still more rewarding. So it's like, hey, I might spend a little bit longer, but I'm not having to run it over and over and over again. Like, it doesn't feel like I'm running this like consistently over and over again. And I would still be able to actually get it done. Like, it's fine. I don't like this. This is a bad change, personally. That is not something that you want to do. Again, if you are a developer out there and you want to create some variety, the way you want to do it is give a bone for the people who are running the longer stuff, not giving the people who run the shorter stuff a fucking stick. Because it just doesn't feel good. And it leaves a shitty taste in everyone's mouth when, again, you're just penalizing the people who are doing stuff because you have set it up that way, which is not fun. Power rewards. New weapons and armors are coming with to the portal. New gear to earn in each of the portal categories. Look for the preview in future TWID, as mentioned in July 3rd. 400, 450 will no longer be limited prime engrams. You'll be able to level up to 500. And then once you hit 500, you will again be required to get prime engrams to level to 550. Which, again, I don't like the fact that prime engrams are still the final thing, the final grind for this. It is dumb. It is pathetic. It is fucking stupid that you are essentially gatekeeping the last 50 power level behind a fucking time sink. I think it was dumb that, the last 50, it's like you get after you get one piece every like 12 runs of something that can take up to an hour depending on what you're doing. And so it's like you're just putting way too much like effort for that time. And it's unless you are putting in so much, it just doesn't feel good. It doesn't. Because, again, it sucks because you are essentially doing it as a fucking chore and not, oh, this is fun. Granted, there's some people who might enjoy that. There's some people who are very much in like, oh, this is great. This is awesome. There's not a lot of people who are in that point. And it's like, it doesn't make sense for that stuff. All right, what else do we get? So obviously, here we go. However, because they slide into your loot stream without any fanfare, they can sometimes get lost. Star Nash and Iron, these engrams no longer automatically decrypt. Wait, what the fuck? Wait, hold on. Wait. Why are we doing this? Why? No. I don't want this thing to be done. It doesn't. No, why? Like, I get you want to give more functionality to Rahul, but that's what the armor attunement's for. That's for you selecting on like, oh, I want to get this exotic armor. Oh, I want to get this exotic armor. Or I could try and get this one. Or X, Y, and Z. Why are we using them for a decryption of prime engrams? Why are we wasting the time? Because the aspect of this just doesn't make sense to me. Oh, just like Destiny 1. That's the one thing I don't think people enjoyed of Destiny 1 was going to Rahul to decrypt their stuff, or like going to like the decryptor and potentially getting like see what you get. It's not just given to you. So, and again, we're still like Destiny 2 is still running on last gen consoles. It's still running on PS4 and Xbox One. Why do we have to load in to potentially a last gen tower, which, depending on how long it takes, could take like, a minute or two to possibly even more, depending on how shitty the system is or the circumstances are. Because there's been points where I have been stuck in a loading for like up to 5 minutes, and I'm running a what has been seen as a top of the line PC. Like, it's within the top 1%. So I don't know why I have to wait still 5 minutes, because I'm loading into a place that an Xbox One player or a PS4 player is in. Like, the only way that they can somewhat rationalize this is if they make it so they have a way to make it so it's like, oh, all current gen and anyone who's like on PC, like on the top end PC stuff, you will be loaded in, or even better, you have it in 3 different locations. You have last gen consoles, current gen consoles, and then PCs. Something simple like that. Or better yet, have Master Rahul not be in the tower and have him possibly in the Enclave. Or have another decryptor in the Enclave. So that you can just go decrypt it and then leave. And then if you want to go to Master Rahul, you can have it where he selects like a specific like armor or something. Make it worth my time to load into it, other than just to click on it and pray to God that I get something good. Like, it doesn't make sense when right now we already are just able to just like grab stuff, no problem. Like, oh, awesome, we got it, we're good. Additionally, rather than just giving you a single chance at a prime engram at the end of each portal activity, you will now get multiple chances based on the number of completion rewards from the activity. That still doesn't help. I'm not happy about that. New activities and bonuses. Brand activity type called Redacted. And a future TWID, whatever. 2 battlegrounds, Behemoth and Core, 3 strikes, Hypernet, Insight. Okay, see, here's 3 expeditions from Seasonal Plunder. Wait, what the fuck? Why? No one liked those. I don't remember anyone liking those. I mean, they're cool when you first do them, but like, I don't know why. Why? But I like the fact that we apparently these 3 were not originally in it. I don't get why we don't have all the strikes just available within the portal. Just make them all available. That's all. That's all you have to do. Make them all available and then add in the other stuff. Or rotate some stuff out where it's like, oh, for like this month you have X, Y, and Z, and next month you have A, B, C, and then next time it's D, E, F, or something like that. Like, yeah, I don't get it. Like, it's great that they're bringing Tomb of Elders. I doubt anyone's going to do that. The daily bonus focus mission will be more predictable. Bonus slot 1. Blah, 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 blah. Stuff and things. We're increasing the score multiplier for all kill score activities by 5%. Pentacle Ops activities. 3 dungeon layers. Dungeon layers? Okay, I'm curious. 2 exotic missions. Avalon and Presage. Oh, for fuck's sakes, Avalon. I forgot about that. Pentacle Ops will also have 2 daily bonus focus activities. Random choice from dungeon layers and an alternative between Presage and Avalon. Solo op bonuses. What? Okay. Solo ops have been intended to be a quick, reliable way to earn power when you have time to kill at the start or end of a session and need to complete a few objectives in low-stress, low-commitment venues. It was never intended to be the above all Elspeth method for all player types. Well, then fucking increase the rewards for everything else. That's all I'm saying. That's all that it needs. That's all it only needs, man. That's all it needs. just increase for everything else. Right now, the speed, ease, and consistency of earning top rewards is drowning out most of the other options, especially at 400. So start balancing with other portal activities where you relatively using light touch. Reduce power earned for a given grade in solo ops by 1 compared to fire top. That's so stupid. I don't like that. Pair with changes to fire ops scoring and other rewards. I mean, yeah, no. This is stupid. I don't like this. I think this is fucking dumb. I personally, again, you're giving people the stick when you should be giving people another way to earn the carrot. This is not what people want. People want more loot, not less loot. People want more ways to gain loot, not reduce the amount of loot people are getting. No one wants it. I get the idea that, oh, you want to adjust the focus to fire team ops and all that stuff. Fine. Increase the loot table, like increase the loot for that. Make it more appealing for us to go there and not reduce the appeal of solo ops. And it's just, we're adding 4 additional Grandmaster Conquests and 2 Ultimate Conquests. The Grandmaster Conquests round out the requirements for the Conqueror title, and the Ultimate Conquests are needed to complete Guardian rank 11. And also get you a sweet new seasonal Ultimate Conquest emblem. Oh, you actually get an emblem. Alright, maybe I do have a reason to do the Conquest then. I guess. All conquests will be replayable. You'll earn normal scored portal loot for additional completions, future changes. Yeah. Get rewards from past seasons. This I don't mind at all. I think this is great. I already like this part. It's like so far this is like the only positive thing. And maybe the attunement for Desert Perpetual, I guess. I mean, it's like, The Acid and Iron major update, we're introducing new ways to acquire cosmetics from excited season and reward passes. Located in the tower next to the Monument of Lost Lights, you'll be able to visit monuments to season pass, aka the seasonal archive, the home of archive passes. These archive passes will give you access to armor ornaments, accessories, and much more from the respective season or reward pass. If you owned a pass when it was first available, you'll have instant access to the archive pass when it becomes available on the seasonal archive. Oh, thank fucking Christ, I don't have to do anything else. Nice. At launch, all seasonal passes released up to, including Season 26, will be available going forward. New archive passes will be added to the seasonal archive once pass period after its end. For example, the Reclamation Archive Pass will be added to the seasonal archive with the launch of the Lawless Reward Pass in Renegades. Cool. If you did not purchase a pass while it was active, it can be acquired at the seasonal archive as an archive pass for the discount cost of 600 silver. Okay, I mean, sure, I guess. Starting with the Ashes and Iron Reward Pass, chronologs are earned from active reward passes and are distributed across both the free and paid tracks. Additionally, any new purchase archive pass will also include 500 chronologs, enough to claim a handful of items from your new pass. No matter how or when you acquire a pass, however, you won't need to spend chronologs for the items you have earned. If you've reached the required rank to claim an item in the past and either forgot to claim it or didn't own the corresponding pass while it was active, that item will be claimable immediately with archive pass ownership for no additional cost. That's nice. Honestly, I do like that. I think that's a great way of kind of promoting the fact that, like, oh, hey, you're able to get this. Kind of still sucks, but like, hey, at least now for me, if I didn't get armor pieces or ornaments from other characters, I'll then be able to get those, which is cool. It's possible they might end up with the chronologs but have no archive pass as unless to spend them on, or maybe there are just no remaining items that interest you. To ensure chronologs are always valuable, the seasonal archive. Okay, that's cool. I do like this. This thing is nice because, again, you do get the opportunity to kind of use it on other stuff, which is cool. Complete your seasonal challenge. The current list of seasonal challenges will reset when Ashes and Iron arrive on September 9th, so it's a general call for everyone that are aiming to earn some Bright Dust and XP. Complete them soon. Destiny 2 9.0.07. Reduce the requirements for the top challenger triumph from the previous 1 or 2 the actual 42 needed. That means you can actually earn rewards this every week if you want to. So what are you waiting for? Mayhem now. Trials starts tomorrow. Cool. Yeah, small volume players unable to integrate changes capital and progress the free campaign. Yeah. This stuff cool. I'm sorry, a bit annoying, but maybe they're misunderstood. Okay, this is cool. Oh, that's actually kind of cute. Yeah, what if they're not friends? Why friendship? You beat my boss. I can't promise I'll feature a video of you being this DMGO4 guys and trials every single time, but I do promise I'll watch it, share it with him, and that several people from several teams at Bungie will now enjoy a good laugh. Okay. There you have it. Another TWID is complete. Okay. So again, I think so let's kind of go over the positives and the negatives. The positives, the first thing, the positives that I do want to say. Obviously, the rewards from the past seasons, I think that's a huge positive. I think this was something that they really should have had beforehand, and the fact that they're finally bringing in, and not only that, able to get every single thing from every single one, because again, we're not just seeing where it's showing up as like the final shape, we're also seeing Lightfall. Potentially we'll be seeing stuff all the way back till, since year 3, possibly, who knows. Because we have Lightfall, there's Witch Queen, Beyond Light, and then there's Shadowkeep. So there is a chance. There is that opportunity to possibly get every single thing, which is great. And I think that's something that is, again, worth the time, especially because people have made plugins that can be used to do that. But now that those options are not there, the fact that we're having this is really good. I think this is great. I think this is awesome. I'm very happy about this, and I'm glad that this is here. The next part that I would say is good is, I would say, a few parts of the Desert Perpetual one. First off, obviously the expansion itself, I always like the fact when it comes to these type of circumstances where it expands on it. So, for example, back when the Leviathan came out, year 1, it expanded on it by having 2 separate raid layers. Granted, they weren't directly connected, and so the fact that the Epic version has more available does make it a lot better. I will say that. That being said, though, this I'm fine with. I don't mind contest mode being on. I think that's okay. I think that is 100% fine. That's whatever. And the fact that you can get an exclusive emblem, which is cool, great. I don't think a world's first race should be something that's necessary. I personally am not for this. I get why they would want to do it, but like you're not gonna really get much out of it. But at least the good part is again, this is something. Whether or not I do this, I don't know. I might do it. I might not. I'm not 100% certain for this because again, we're looking at how everything is, especially when it comes to the game. I don't know if I'm actually going to be putting that much time into this game. Like I said before, I barely hit 300. I think I'm like 330 or something at this point in time after a month. I only have one friend on my on my list, maybe 2, who have hit 450. Barely anyone else has hit anywhere close to 400. So the fact that, there's all that, who knows? Maybe I'll get there. Maybe I'll find the motivation to do it so I can get the tier 5 stuff. Because again, you are still leaving the featured gear and seasonal mods. If you're tier 5, you are guaranteed to be in the top 100. I am going to be honest. If you have tier 5, you have a significantly higher chance than anyone else that has anything less than a tier 5 gear. And the fact that we have not swap, as long as you have Thunderlord with the Catalyst or Outbreak Perfected with the catalyst and the right setup, or Lord of Wolves. That could also be something that may be available. You are going to be guaranteeing that. Especially since they're getting not swap involved. So again, unless they're banning all this and you have to use lucky pants, which is a possibility because that was something that people have done with hunters on day one. You know, that's an option. But it's still just the fact of like, who knows? This doesn't feel this you kind of get what I mean, where it just doesn't feel right, especially since it literally resets everything. It like, why is it going so hard on the penalty for this? I get they're trying to avoid loadout swapping, but like still, it's just, I don't know. I don't think this is something that should be done because again, if people are loadout swapping for the damages, and if you're, and that's based off of obviously the setups for the banned list. If Outbreak Perfected is banned, then literally people will have to loadout swap. It is something that will just happen. Like, it's almost a guarantee at that point. Or people, like, you know, you ban that, maybe Thunderlord might be the option. But who the fuck knows? I think the reward changes are a bit iffy, personally. The only thing that I could say is just a net positive is this part. I think this right here is really good because, again, you have this opportunity to do attunement in our raid, and I think that's awesome, especially since we are getting no crafting in the raids or anything after Salvation's Edge. And I think this is awesome. I think this is perfect. And I think this should have been something that should have been retroactively put in to the other ones, but hey, they're doing, you know, loot refreshes, so hopefully that does something. The stuff that I don't like about this is this stuff, all the portal stuff. They say improvements. These are not seen as improvements. This part, maybe. The fact that we have an understanding, the fact that they're making adjustments to this, the fact that they're making adjustments to this, loadout restrictions, cool. But the fact that they're killing essentially one of their modes because they want to promote another one is, in my opinion, the dumbest fucking thing that you can ever do as a company. Because here's the one thing, again, if you want people to play your game, let them play it the way they want to play it. Do not try and entice people by beating the shit out of them for playing one thing and one thing only. It's not their fault that the way you set it up essentially forced them to play that way. Change the incentive structure so that other people, like people can play anything they want and they will get it. So it's more of they're playing for entertainment and getting bonus stuff as, you know, as a plus instead of just I'm doing this for power and that's it. That's all I'm doing. There's nothing else to it. No one likes it. No one likes this. This is not something that I am happy about. I don't like this. I think this is a very stupid thing. And I wouldn't be surprised if they either they see activities like kind of reduce or anything of that sort, because again, this is just not something you would want to do. This is just kind of stupid. Just like increasing stuff. That's fine. Do that. Increase the rewards. Don't decrease the rewards. Increase them. And then prime engrams. This is stupid. Because again, I don't know why they're so fucking pissed. They're so focused on, oh, it's like it shows up with no fanfare. Yeah, bitch, because guess what? They're fucking spending an hour to get that piece. You want them to spend an extra 5 minutes to go and decrypt it before they do it again for another hour? Well, no. No one wants that. No one wants to put more time into it. This is stupid. This is dumb. This is a waste of time. Not sure why they're adding this. I still think they should have had all the strikes in there. I'm glad that they're adding in new stuff. I think they need to add in new stuff, and the fact that they're adding new stuff is great. But yeah, maybe they should prioritize also promoting the stuff that they brought in with this fucking season, with this expansion. Because I don't even remember what the fuck the original event that was on Kepler is even called. Because I only played it, I wish I was kidding, only once. And that was it. Like, that was it. So, you know, it's like one of those things. I don't know. Overall, I am not happy with this. Because as much as I want to look at the positives, there's still a very blatant, obvious negatives that have been coming in. And I think the problem with that is because of these negatives, you're not going to see a lot of people wanting to enjoy this. Because, again, just to focus more people to other things, you should not be doing this. This should be something that should not be done. All I'm saying is that if you want to do it, incentivize or give people a reason to play the other ones. Do not reduce the rewards for what everyone else is playing. Because I'm gonna be honest, if you think this is how that works, that is not how this works. People are not gonna enjoy that. There might be a decent chunk that may go over to fire team ops to do speed runs of that. Great. But guess what? People will, like, you know, if they're already at 450, why the fuck would they matter? Why does it matter for them? They already have the setup. They don't care. It's done for them. It's over. They don't have a reason to play. But anyway, that's my reaction / rant over this. Obviously, again, later on, you will see what my review of both the raid and the expansion in total is when that's going to be coming out. But yeah, I can see why people are very, very annoyed with this. 100% can see that. God damn it, Bungie. God fucking damn it.